Kirakoto, my name is Jesse. The previous video I mentioned how I do the monitor checks. As you know, right, I talked to you, I use the acronyms MS before I start the my shift. So M is machines, S sections, M is monitors, Airways. Now it's Airway. So the next one is IV and drugs and special equipment. So let's check the airways. So in New Zealand, every hospital they have their own protocol or guidelines. So what kind of airway you should check? So I mentioned you earlier, so you can become the members of anesthetic technician societies. So although you're not working in New Zealand, but you can become a member and you can log in and use all the material resources from the society. So in my hospital where I work, for the airways, firstly you have to check, make sure that you have the laryngoscope and the blades. So the laryngoscope with a long handle and a short handle, and the blade, normally you have a blade 3 and blade 4. You make sure that you put in and it turn on and it's working well. But besides, you have to have the video laryngoscope that we call it macra, and you have to check the battery, make sure that they have enough hours, like maybe 200 hours, or it will go down. And if it not less than like 1 hour, so normally you have to change a new battery. It's at 2 or 3 hours, you should change it and get a new battery. Then make sure that the blade for the macra video laryngoscope, you have to have the like size 2, size 3, size 4, and they have an X blade, okay, as is high angular for the difficult airways intubations. Then you check for the ET tip, make sure you have different sizes, and you have two for each size, like size 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, and 8.5, even though you have a size 9. And then after that you check the LMA. So if we have in our hospital we use different LMA. We have a classic LMA, flexible LMA, we have Oregon, we have Airway, and it depends. But normally in the anesthetic trolley, we normally have the classic LMA and secondary generation of LMA. And we have for the classics we have 3, 4, 5, and 6. But in our hospital we don't have size 6, and some hospital we have size 6, and then we have Oregon, we have size 3, 4, 5, and then the same in my hospital we don't have size 6 Oregon, only size 5 is maximum. So that for LMA. Then you check for the OPA or NPA. The OPAs are like oral pharyngeal airways. You have make sure they have different sizes. In our hospital we use color code like yellow, red, and orange. Orange is the biggest one, and then yellow is a small, like me. Normally we use for female, and red we use for male. Then our NPA, nasal pharyngeal airways, you have make sure they have different sizes, like 6, 7, and 6.5, 7.5, and 8. But rarely, yeah, I can see that rarely anesthetists use the NPA, but we make sure that we have different sizes there, just in case we need a NPA, right? And then we check the syringe, make sure that we have a syringe to inflate the cup for the OP, LMIs and ET tip syringe. Then you check for the bougie and stylet, make sure that all the equipment have to be clean, intact, and ready to use. So normally 2 of each, have 2 bougie arrival, and stylet is different size. We have size 5 and size 4. So all things they'll be there in our car. For then we sometimes we have to check, make sure that the kit for the CICO, that means can intubation, can oxygenation, we have to have there, because in our hospital in the package we have for the kiddie and for the adults in the anesthetic drawer. So you make sure that when you check it. Then you have to check for the McGill forceps, make sure that there's a McGill forceps there, just in case we do the nasal intubation or we use the NG tip, so make sure that the McGill forceps always there. Then you check the stylet for the gyroscope. so you have to put one on our anesthetic trolley cart. Make sure that there are one stylet for the gyroscope. In our hospital where I work, we only we have the gyroscope, but we actually leave it there inside the acute theater, so just in case ready for the difficult airway trolley. That is all the airway check, that you make sure that you have everything there. And I just recaps again. We have to check the laryngoscopes, and then macra, and then tip and LMA. You check the OPA, NPA, and then bougie, stylet, and then McGill forceps. And then you have the stylet for the gyroscope, and you have the CICO kit for the adults and pediatric. That's all I check for my airways. But that's a guideline. But I also check for my personally. I check for the bite block. So just in case when you have a ET tip in, and then you have to put bite block just in case the patient bite the ET tip. But in our hospital we don't have it. We have to get the gauge, so roll them up and then put it. But in other hospital we have a bite block. Just put it in. And then you make sure all the tapes there to stabilize the ET tip or LMA when you intubate for the patient. People use the tape, or people you like to use the tie to tie the ET tip. So it depends, but you make sure that everything there. For me, I have to check the eye tape. Make sure that they have eye tapes there. And then for me, yeah, that's it. That's how I check. And sometimes I have some goals just in case, leave it there just in case for the when people tie the tip, you make sure that there are no pressures when they tie. Make sure you put a gauge in to prevent the pressure injuries for the patients. Or in our country, in where I work, we use the bits instead of entropy, so they have some dot on the forehead, and then you have a connecting. Make sure that you put a gauge under the connector because it's gonna create a pressure injury. So that's what I'm preparing and prepare for the airways. So, yeah, that's my style. I don't know how you guys check the airways equipment. That's what I'm checking. And like I said, make sure that all the airway equipment clean, intact, ready to use, still in good in date, not out of date. Okay. All right, thank you very much. I hope you can subscribe my channel and then share my channel to your friends. That's what I work in New Zealand. So New Zealand is a beautiful country. When you come and work here, and you see that there are a lot of differences in your practice compared to your country. Like a lot of people asking me where I'm from. I'm from Vietnam, and then we course nurse anesthetist. So we train for 4 years to become a nurse anesthetist. All right, I'll see you next video for the IV check. So make sure you know what IV, what equipment, what things I should check for the IV. Okay, thank you very much. Hope you can subscribe my channel, and see you in the next video. See you.